Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. So today is going to be opening day for Major League Baseball. So let me know in the comment section below if you're a baseball fan and which team you follow, which team you like. I believe there's going to be a new rule this year where they're going to have a new pitch clock, so that should be interesting. But in today's video, we are going to be discussing topics revolving Social Security. So starting out, we're going to be discussing Joe Biden and some comments that he made in the past. Pretty interesting comments in regards to Social Security, views that are now pretty much stronghold positions of the Republican Party, so we're going to be covering those. Also, payments for one group of people on Social Security are actually going to be coming early for the month of April. They're actually going to be getting that earlier than in April. So we're going to be discussing who those people are and why they're going to be receiving their payments early. Now, before I dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm. And also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to go ahead and receive up to 12 free stocks from my partner in Webull, I will go ahead and leave a link in a pinned comment below where you can receive just that. And if you don't want to invest at this point in time, you can always just sell the stocks for what they're worth and then transfer that money, which should be right around $50 or more, back to your bank account. Okay, so starting off here, we have an article from CNN, interestingly enough. Headline is, Joe Biden attacks Republicans for positions he once held about Social Security. President Joe Biden and the White House have attacked Republicans in recent months for positions the president himself once held on Social Security and entitlement programs, including sunset bills and raising the retirement age, a CNN K-File review of Biden's record shows. In his State of the Union address earlier this year, and in the months since, Biden has hammered Republicans over entitlements, saying they want to cut Social Security and Medicare. The president zeroed in on Florida Senator Rick Scott's sunset plan, though Biden himself introduced a similar proposal in 1975, which would have sunset all legislation without exemptions for the two entitlement programs. Once Biden started attacking Scott for the lack of exemptions for the entitlement programs, Scott added that his sunset provisions would not apply to Social Security or Medicare. Biden first introduced a proposal in 1975 that would have seized funding for all federal programs, including Social Security and Medicare, unless they were reauthorized by Congress. In fact, Biden's bill was the first so-called federal sunset bill, something the president later boasted about in his 1978 Senate re-election campaign. Biden has also attacked Republicans, saying congressional Republicans want to cut the two entitlement programs and raise the retirement age to 70. The White House vowed to not support any increase in the retirement age in any future negotiations with Republicans, even though Biden himself once proposed raising the retirement age as life expectancy went up. Biden, in one exchange pushing back against plans by then President George W. Bush to partially privatize Social Security in 2005, said he was open to discussing benefit cuts to guarantee the solvency of the program. So I'm going to go ahead and play a short clip. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Raising the cap, raising the retirement age for people who are now 30 years old, raising the tax on Social Security, cutting benefits. They're all things that have to be discussed, quite frankly.
Now, in other clips from the 1980s, uncovered by CNN's K-File, Biden proposed raising the retirement age up to possibly 70, saying that life expectancy in the United States supported retiring later. Biden also said he was open to raising the retirement age in the mid and late 2000s. So clearly, Biden, not even 20 years ago, supported raising the full retirement age up to 70, so it's really hard to imagine that his viewpoints have really changed that much. It seems like what he's saying now, like we're not going to be raising the full retirement age up to 70, is more so because he feels pressure by other Democrats saying this is something that we're not going to do, but his own personal viewpoints, clearly, back in the 2000s, back in the 90s, back in the 80s, he fully supported these things, cutting Social Security benefits. Now that he's in office, I don't think he's really changed his viewpoints on that. Most of us get some viewpoints. I mean, if we have strong viewpoints over, let's say, like 30 years, more than likely those things aren't going to change. So clearly, his viewpoints are in full support of raising the full retirement age up to 70. So I think that's probably something that's going to end up taking place later on. Right now, we have a bipartisan proposal taking place behind closed doors. It's being headed by Republican Bill Cassidy. He's a senator out of Louisiana. And then we also have Angus King, who is an independent, but he caucuses with the Democrats. So in this proposal, in this bipartisan plan, they also have Republicans working with them, they have Democrats working with them, and in this plan, they're going to have the Sovereign Wealth Fund where they're going to be investing in stocks and other things, hoping for an 8% return. But in addition to that, they're also thinking about raising the full retirement age up to 70. So if they bring this plan to the White House and they get Biden behind it, because again, I mean, Biden right now is saying, oh, we're not going to be raising the full retirement age up to 70, because yes, that would be cutting benefits. But clearly you can see back as late as 2005, him making these statements on camera that yes, perhaps we should be looking at raising the full retirement age up to 70. I highly doubt his viewpoints have changed. Now, again, right now, this is a proposal. It's not even a bill yet by Cassidy and King. But once it becomes a bill, if they can get enough support from both Republicans and Democrats, they can possibly get this thing through. Because really the alternative at this point is once 2032 rolls around, people receiving Social Security benefits are going to receive a 20% cut in their benefits, which basically means if you're receiving $2,000 in 2032, if you're hit with that 20% cut in your benefits, you're then only going to be receiving $1,600. So that's going to be a $400 per month pay cut if they have to cut benefits by 20%, if they're not able to do anything by 2032. So we're just gonna have to wait and see whether or not they can come to any sort of an agreement. But again, this plan is bipartisan, so in my opinion, it has a much stronger chance of passing than some of the other bills out there. For example, like Bernie Sanders' bill that would raise benefits by $200 per month and would lift the cap on payroll taxes. However, there's only Democrats in support of that bill, so more than likely that one is not going to pass. Now, in some other news, recipients of SSI will be receiving their payments one day early. That's going to be coming tomorrow on Friday, March 31st. Usually these payments go out on the 1st of every month, but this is why they're going to be going out one day early. So according to money.com, the headline is why some Social Security recipients will get their April payments early. It's no April Fool's joke. Some recipients of Social Security benefits won't be getting their payments at the usual time next month. Don't panic, the schedule is just changing slightly. The Social Security Administration will distribute Supplemental Security Income payments, benefits for adults 65 and older, as well as adults and children with blindness or other conditions for April on Friday, the last day of March. SSI recipients will still get their full benefits, but will technically receive 2 payments this month and none in April. After that, the next scheduled payment date is May 1st, according to the SSA's 2023 calendar. SSI payments are typically scheduled for the 1st of the month unless that date falls on a federal holiday or weekend, in which case it shifts to the weekday immediately before. That's what's happening. April 1st falls on a Saturday this year, so you will receive your SSI check in advance on March 31st, in addition to the payment you likely already received on March 1st. The normal SSI payment schedule will then resume. You can also expect 2 payments in June, September, and December of this year. So as I just explained, the reason you're going to be receiving your SSI payment tomorrow on Friday, March 31st, instead of on April 1st, is because anytime the 1st of the month falls on a Saturday, a Sunday, a weekend, or a holiday, they then send out payments one day earlier on the prior weekday. So that's why you're going to be receiving it on Friday in March, but then you're not going to be receiving payments in April at all. So this payment on March 31st is not going to be any type of bonus payment. It's not like a stimulus check or anything like that. It's simply your April check coming a little bit early, and then you're not going to receive anything else until all the way in May. Now, as far as everyone else receiving Social Security benefits, the schedule is going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the schedule up here. So on the 12th of April, this one is going to be going to those with birth dates between the 1st and 10th of any given month. Then on the 19th, it's going to go to those with birth dates between the 11th and 20th. And then on the 4th Wednesday of the month, on April 26th, that's going to be going to those with birth dates between the 21st through the 31st of any given month. And then, of course, on the 3rd, those of you who received Social Security before May of 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI, Social Security is paid on the 3rd. And then, of course, you're going to be receiving your SSI payment tomorrow on Friday, March 31st. Again, this is not like some sort of bonus payment. It's just your April payment coming a little bit early. But that's all the news that we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.